the canvas is going to be covered in blood. I mean, this was one of the craziest things I've ever seen on the regional scene, and in my life. I've been to a ton of UFC events. I've been to a ton of, PFL events and other regional scene spots. I have never seen a crazier fight than your fight.
What's up, everybody? Jesse Nunez back here with the Fight Scene Podcast. Zayd Hussein, Valanti, 300 Atsas. We're back, and we're going to talk about this fight.
Yeah, and just to stop you for a second, I mean, bro, the drone footage of this whole event was absolutely insane. And, I mean, just the walkouts of every single person, I thought it was incredible. I thought it was a nice touch to the production, and bravo to you guys. Seriously, that was awesome.
Thanks, man. And we try to add something new every fight, and the drone for this fight was the new add-on. We've always had the LED boards. We've always had the professional lights. We shut down the sparks because I was worried about maybe sparking someone's eye on the way out. And I was like, Let's just not do the sparks. Let's not turn them on. Right? So, but the drone footage is definitely an upgrade. We always had the jib, right? We always have a professional production, but that drone,
it's a nice
shout
touch.
out to you, Mason, our drone operator. Mason, fantastic job. Can't wait to have you back. But here we go, man. We got Valanti walking out. Valanti, you've been with Armando in that group for quite a while. Talk to me a little bit about your relationship with the gym.
So I've been at the gym since I was, I'm 33 now. I think I was 20 years old going into 21. And I went to go try like a kickboxing class with one of my cousins who used to train with Armando at Torres. Mm-hmm. And this is when I just came back home. I was playing college football, and it didn't end up working out. And I ended up coming back home to help with the family business, and I needed an outlet. I always knew before that I wanted to fight. It was just like a matter of when. So when I got the call from my cousin to go try this gym out, like he's thinking I'm just gonna go do a cardio class with him. Wow, in my mind I'm already scheming like, okay, everything happens for a reason. This is the time, you know. I was at like a weird point in my life where I felt like I needed purpose, like I needed something, and I've been with Armando and the team and the Carlson Gracie team for like 13 years now, and I haven't left, you know.
And how old were you when you took that class and made that first step?
I think I was 20 years old. It was like right before I turned 21. So I've been at the gym ever since then. I'm 33 now. I'll be 34 in October. So I've been at that gym ever since.
Yeah, I mean, when he fought as an amateur, you came with that group in that gym, and that's I think the first time I met you, really. And I've worked with Armando in the past. He's always had quality fighters. So having Valanti in the cage was one of his normal guys that he was trying to get up the chain. And here we are 8 years later. This guy's the champ, right? So I mean, everybody starts somewhere. And talking about that, 7 years ago, here's your opponent coming up to the cage, Tyler Scott. Tell us a little bit about when I offered you that fight. What was your breakdown, and how long did it take you to say yes? I know the answer to that, but let's let everybody else know.
Are we talking about this time or the first time?
This time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said yes right away, but
I don't think I got the whole sentence out. I think I got the Tyler, and he's like, yes.
Yeah, because, I mean, looking at it from like somebody who's trying to progress, like let's look at who's left on the board, right?
Right.
Like, so my last fight, coming off a loss to Prince, that puts me at number 3 in the Tapology rankings. Puts Prince at number 2, and then it puts Scott at number 1. And these are the Indiana State rankings.
Right.
And so it's just like, who else am I going to fight? Like, I don't want to fight anybody at the bottom of the totem pole. Like, that's not the kind of fighter I am. I want to fight the top. So, being that the rematch with Prince wasn't available, I figured I'd just go straight to the top. And, I think he earned it ever since he came back into the promotion. He was coming off, 2 or 3 KOs in a row, I think.
Yeah, that a big Dirty Boxing.
Yeah. And that he had a close event at Dirty Boxing. I think it went, to the extra time or whatever kind of format that they have running in that new sport, which is pretty cool. But, so it's just why not just take the snake out at the head, just go straight to the top?
Right, and as you know, we're not offering give me fights at
right.
EFN, right? Everything is a competitive fight. Now, granted, there were times where we had opponents lined up for you, and we end up getting last minute opponents. But generally, I will say it right now, Valanti has never said no to anybody I offered it.
No, for sure. And I think not just his fight, but the matchmaking on the entire card, there was a ton of competitive fights that we saw. And, Valanti, that was a war, bro. I mean, looking at it like right now and being able to see it, we're going to see it in a couple minutes. The canvas is going to be covered in blood. I mean, this was one of the craziest things I've ever seen on the regional scene and in my life. I've been to a ton of UFC events. I've been to a ton of, PFL events and other regional scene spots. I have never seen a crazier fight than your fight and becoming the champ. Honestly, it was incredible. It was an honor to call the fight.
And I have to stop you there because I had a choice to make at the start of this fight. We got a brand new cage, which meant I had to get a brand new canvas. And I had to pick. And I called a couple different coaches. I'm like, hey, what did you think of my last canvas? Like, oh, when it was dry, it was slippery. And the other guy says, well, if you get a vinyl, it's wet when it's slippery. So I've got half the people telling me, get a vinyl cover. And you have people telling me, get a canvas cover. And I'm like, well, I don't know who my sponsors are. And if I get the canvas, I'm not going to be able to put them on later.
Yeah.
So we ended up ordering the vinyl canvas. And the whole event went great, right? There was sweat and there was some blood. We were able to clean it up. And then that last fight, it was just, like, as you're explaining, right? It was one of the bloodiest fights in history of EFN. So now, thanks to you, Valanti.
I don't think it mattered what canvas you got.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
It
Didn't matter.
But what I'm saying is now everybody's asking me to get a canvas cover. This is the part I can't wait for. I want to show everybody the highlights from the main event of EFN 27. And I just want to break down and talk through the fight. So as we got into round one, Valanti, what were you thinking? I mean, obviously there was a lot leading into this fight. Where were you at?
Just, use my footwork, put the pressure, use my striking to kind of set up takedowns, kind of cut off his long range, and just come forward, but come forward intelligently.
Right. And you were applying most of the pressure in round one. Yeah. He was, getting some strikes off, and he was connecting. Zayd, what did you see out of round one?
I thought Scott had a lot of success in the Muay Thai clinch. He landed some elbows, but I thought the difference was Valanti's pressure with the boxing. I thought he was able to pressure him back. He landed a ton of nice strikes towards the middle and end of the round, and I think that stole the round. I thought he did really well with his boxing and pressure.
Yeah, if any of the rounds could have went either way, I think it was round one.
Yeah,
I agree. And I agree.
That would probably be the closest round that I think we saw in the 5-round fight. And as we got into round two, it was more of the same. It was Valanti coming forward. He was able to apply the pressure. He landed a bunch of combinations and some strikes. Tyler, again, sneaky elbows, right? So let's talk a little bit about what happened in round two.
So I feel like I'm in control. I ended up walking him down and putting some pressure pushing him up against the fence. And then once I was able to lock in underneath, I knew that I was going to take him down. And then I knew at that time I didn't have too much time left, so the point was just to, outpoint him and maybe do some damage, beat up his body a little bit. If I could reach his head, land a couple hammers. And then all of a sudden, man, right before the round, it's crazy. Back elbow just hits me right on the spot, and it's right at the point, and it's just somebody just put the pause on the freeze frame and just placed it there. And I was just I see the blood hit the canvas, and honestly, if I didn't see the blood, I wouldn't have known that I was cut.
Right.
And then, I'm thinking, as I'm walking to my corner, all right, is it getting in my eye? Is it getting in my mouth? By the time I make it to the stool, I'm I'm good.
Yeah.
It's not getting in my vision. It's not getting in my mouth.
Right.
So I'm already preparing what I'm going to say when the ref comes to check on me. And I'm already getting ready to tell my corners just so they're, calm and cool while they're putting the Vaseline on. Hey, man, it's not getting in my eyes, not getting in my mouth. My mental's good. Let's just get this over with so I can get back out there and go
in
to work.
Tyler Scott fashion, right? I mean, that was an odd angle, a weird strike. I don't know how you defend against something like that, right? Because he's hitting you with these in close, full elbows. They're coming in with power, and he's only got so much room to do it, and he's able to sneak them in. And to your credit, I mean, you fought him before. You knew they were coming, right? Yeah. So, when it did connect, I think you were anticipating getting some of those elbows, right? So,
when I heard the toof, toof, toof for the 10 seconds, the way the elbow landed, he was on his side, and then he came like this. So if I had more time on the clock, I would have started attacking that head and arm, right? But I was there's only 10 seconds left. I might as well do as much damage as I can, or else I just would have solidified the control and just took my time. I was like, I'm gonna get as much damage as I can, and then I'm the one who gets damaged.
It's a fight. It's a fight
And
for
on the
us.
regional scene, like, you got to be careful with the cuts, and I think they handled it so well, like by saying, "Hey, look, it's not in my eye," because on the local scene they'll stop stuff like that just for a cut. But the fact that it was kind of placed in a better spot where it's not affecting your vision was huge.
I think like just the experience that I have, like from all the fights that I have. I mean, this is probably between AMI MMA, Pro MMA, kickboxing. For me, this is fight number like 26, not including like any of my Brazilian jiu-jitsu competitions or anything like that. And just like I knew I could take a deep breath and walk to the corner and be like, all right, it's not getting in my eye, it's not getting in my mouth. Like, we're good to go. You know what I mean? And just like that experience factor of me just being calm and being able to tell the ref with a straight face and my corner's like, hey, man, we're good. Like, don't sweat it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, and then that last 10 seconds of round 2 changed the dynamic of the whole fight, right? Because it went from almost stand-up and striking and obviously pressure and takedowns to a full grappling match on a slip and slide.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, take us through that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we went from, like you said, a stand and bang fight to now, even when it transitions it has to transition to grappling because you really can't stand and throw. Like, I mean, you see both of them. I mean, you can attest to just, I'm sitting there cage side and I'm seeing you, try to strike and plant down a throw punch and your feet are just coming out from underneath you. So I think the wrestling that you have and the grappling that you have, your ability to go in there and, grab the single leg, you hit him with the single leg dump, I think, in the third and fourth round and maintain the top control was a huge difference for you in this fight because, being able to come forward and just grab it and take him down to your world, he struggled with it a lot.
I think just like being like, I try to train everything and try to be well-rounded. I'm known as a grappler, but like I said, I consider myself pretty mixed. And I knew that once I couldn't use my lateral movement and my angles, because I like to bounce, I like to move. I'm at welterweight, but I like to fight like a lightweight and just be a little bit more quicker and always on the ball on my feet, just kind of like bouncing around like I'm dancing. And I knew once I couldn't do that, like I just had to change my thought process of how I was coming into 1 and 2, using angles and blitzing down the middle with forward attacks to kind of just close the distance, lock in, get your double unders or get your hands around the calves for the single or the double and just, take him down because now I can't maneuver. Now I can't do anything else besides get top control and pressure.
Yeah. In rounds 3 and 4, what we've seen was a lot of takedowns and then also a point to where in a normal dry fight, I think there were some positions that you could have finished a fight, versus what we've seen play out because of all the blood and the sweat.
Just looking back at the film, I probably have like 3 or 4 catches to where I know if I'm dry, I'm finishing them. Probably a Kimura lock from top eye, rear naked choke. Man, I think I really would have hit that knee bar, and then if not that knee bar, that toe hold. And then, just like everything was just like, it's like holding a bar of soap, and it's just, everything's flying around. So
Sure. And from the fans' perspective, like everybody was on the edge of their seat, all the way through round 5. The crowd was electric. The fight, obviously, fitting to be the main event. Thank God it was, because I'm not sure how I would have dried the rest of that cage off for the night.
Yeah.
But it was a great event, and then that fight capping off the night was just an electric atmosphere. And like I said before, like this is a fight I knew I really wanted to have in the EFN cage. I've seen these guys as amateurs. I've given them fights as pros. And eventually I knew they were going to fight. I was just hoping it would be for EFN.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, when you look at, that was honestly really one of the best fights I've seen on the regional scene. But not even just that fight. When you look at the whole card that you put together, I mean, we had some insane finishes and insane fights. And I think that was probably one of the best cards I've seen top to bottom on the regional scene in a very, very long time.
Thanks. And I want to put a big shout out to our team, right? We do a lot of research and try to match the right fights. We try to get like records and good matchups. No one wants to go in an event where there's 10 fights and 9 of them end in the first 20 seconds, right? I mean, they're exciting to watch, but not the whole night can be that way, right? You've got to have competitive fights. And let's face it, some of these fights that ended early were competitive fights. There was just great finishes that happened, right? But our goal is to give the fan the value for their money. We put on a great show. We put on a production. And then on top of that, we want to offer great fights that we know people are going to want to watch. And mainly, not only for the live viewers in attendance, but all of our stuff's recorded for television. So I can't put 10, 20-second fights out there because television is going to laugh at me and tell me to go away.
Yeah.
Right. So having these competitive fights with legitimate fighters at high levels is really our mantra. That's what we want to do. A shout out to our matchmaker, Matt McMinn. He did a fantastic job. I matched half the card. He matched half the card. Our team, just being involved in the fight scene, knows all the gyms and all the coaches, and we reach out to every one of them and want to get the higher level guys onto our production. And it's worked out so far, and I think that's why people keep coming to the fights.
Yeah, love it. Yeah.
So, Champ, what's next for you?
Next, we're looking at November 8th. November
Yep.
8th, right? Saturday, and title fight, 5 rounds on paper, and I get the rematch to kind of try to avenge my only loss as a professional MMA fighter.
Let's talk a little bit about that fight and how it went down. Obviously, before this, in EFN 26 at the Horseshoe Casino, we had a championship fight scheduled between Valanti and Angelo Rivera. Angelo did come in overweight, which meant he couldn't he couldn't gain the title at that point. We all know how it ended, and then Valanti goes on to defend his championship. So now we're in a position where Angelo can again challenge the champion for his title, and Angelo's in the house, right? Wants to come in the cage and calls you out a little bit. And, what was your feeling when that went down that way?
So, I know, the first time we were fighting, he called me out, so he came in. Now he got the win, but he didn't make weight, and now I had a chance because I had the mic. I knew he was in the house, so it was time. It was my time to get the mic and call somebody out, and I think I earned it. And I mean, besides all that, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because before this last fight, Tyler Scott was at number 1. Prince is at number 2. I'm at number 3. Now I go to number 2. Angelo's at number 3. Scott's still at number 1. But, he hung up his gloves. He retired.
Yep.
I mean, I don't want to fight anybody on the lower totem pole.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
For sure. Yeah.
for state rankings and regional rankings, it makes sense. And I want a challenge. And, Angelo's a good challenge for me.
And I think especially in a championship fight, I mean, cutting that last weight is a real challenge. You're gonna come in. So when you miss weight in a title fight like that, I hate to be the devil's advocate here, but that's really bad. So I think he needs to come in on weight, and we see a great bout between both these guys.
But not only that, when you're cutting weight, and if you're a fighter, you know what I'm talking about. That last pound to 2 pounds that's what kills you. If you got to go cut anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds, the first few, you're like, oh, I'm chilling, you're happy, you're having fun with your teammates, this and that. When you get down to that last, pound and a half to 2 pounds, that's when you're dying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to miss weight by, 0.2, 0.3. It's still miss weight by 1.9 pound, 2 pounds.
Yeah.
That's
It's
a
huge.
lot, man.
Huge.
That's almost that's a catch weight at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I still wanted to take the fight. Fighters fight. You know what I'm saying? I did all this to prepare, and honestly, I don't think that's why I lost the fight. I think I just made a mistake, and I didn't think I could get finished. Out of 26 fights in total between AMI, pro, and kickboxing, I've never been finished in a fight, and he got me on the right spot. Ref thought I had enough, and
But
here we
now,
are.
I mean, talk about the opportunity coming off such an incredible performance. Now you get to go in there, avenge that loss, and really solidify yourself
Absolutely.
as a champ.
Against the top three ranked opponent,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's a great fight. It's a fight everybody wants to see, right?
Mhm.
They want to close the chapter on that fight, and this is the way we do it. We put them in the cage. They both make weight. We have a championship fight in front of the crowd. So as you know, November 8th, EFN 28, Red, White, and Boom. Get your tickets. We're going to have the champ Valanti 300 Atsas defend his crown against Angelo Prince Rivera. And then, as you know, we're going to have a huge undercard with top local fighters, top regional fighters. It's going to be fantastic. So as we come back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit about UFC Chicago with our residents. MMA handicapper, you're going to give me some good news?
Yes.
All right, and then we're going to play some bets. We'll see how it turns out. We'll be back after the break.